see the background has changed tonight, but I'll get rolling here in a second. Just refreshing the stream, making sure I'm in live chat, because I wasn't. Anyways, good to see you guys. Another Friday night live stream. I got a few things to talk about tonight about a fish event, some things that changed around here. If you can see, the background behind me has changed, and business stuff. But first thing I want to mention or acknowledge, I guess, I don't know if that's the correct thing. This week, one of the community members, a guy that not constantly, consistently was in my live streams, Aquarium Cop, passed away. So my condolences to his family. I believe there is a GoFundMe out there. If somebody has a link, feel free to post it. I think you might have to be a mod, but just kind of want to, say, sorry to his family, and I enjoyed him being in my live streams, and I'm sad to see him go. I guess next thing I want to go to from there to kind of not bring the mood down, but first fish event of the year is next weekend for me. Cincinnati Aquarium. Oh, I forget the acronym for them, but the Cincinnati Fish Club is doing their swap meet, and it's next Saturday, a week from tomorrow. And I actually had to work, but today I was able to switch my work schedule. I work tomorrow now, but I'm off next weekend, so I'm gonna go to Cincinnati, and I'll try to record what's it like to go to a fish event in a pandemic, because I haven't gone to one. Well, actually, I take that back. I went to a swap meet in Columbus, but it wasn't that big of a swap meet. Cincinnati usually has a decent size fish swap going on, so I will record it, and that way you guys can see what's going on, at least in this area. And if you're in the Cincinnati area, I know there's some people going from Texas and Indiana, obviously Ohio, but try to swing by and come up to me if I haven't met you before, and if I do know who you are, I'll try to say hi and hang out. But that's next Saturday. I believe it's 11 to 11 to 1 or 11 to 2, I think. So anyway, I just saw somebody's chat about me joking about selling these plants last week. In last week's live stream, somebody mentioned the plants behind me, about how big they were, and I was jokingly saying that I would sell them for the right price. Well, turns out that the price was right, and I sold both the big Amazon swords, so they're gone. They should have been at the new owner's house this week. I shipped them out, I think, on Monday, and probably 2 days, so he should have had them Wednesday or yesterday at the latest. But yeah, they're gone. They are getting replaced. I ordered more Amazon swords, and I absolutely don't like this tank right now because those swords aren't in there. So I need to get some big plants back in there. And because it's a good topic to mention, those swords were huge. So if you ever have a tank where you pull out a big plant mass, you gotta remember that's a big plant that's no longer eating nitrates out of your tank and keeping the tank clean. So a day after I pulled them, I did a 50% water change, and now I'm actually monitoring the water parameters to make sure this tank doesn't have an ammonia spike from having that big of a plant loss. So I'm keeping an eye on the tank, and I just wanted to bring that up so that way if you guys ever remove or sell or get rid of plants that are big like that, you need to really watch your tank parameters, because you could have a lot of spikes. Even if I don't have ammonia spikes, I could have a really big nitrate spike. So that is something I'm monitoring, and I will have to do more frequent water changes until I get more plants in there. And then along those lines, we're going to transfer right into, I have a fish order I placed early this week, and with that fish order, I ordered more plants, more Amazons, Anubias, and banana plants, stuff like that. The fish we're going to ship out this week, but the plants wouldn't be ready until Tuesday because they get trans-shipped in. So I just told them to hold everything together for one order, and that's going to ship out next Tuesday. They overnight it to me So I'll have some new fish on Wednesday, along with some new plants. I want to hop in the chat for a minute, and then we'll update you guys on some new products. Here's one right here, and there's some other ones. Most of you guys probably know the products are back on the website, including the fertilizer. And let's see what everybody's got going on. And I hope everybody's having a good week. It is Friday, and I caught the tail end of OFR's live stream. I got a little sidetracked with some work, and then I wanted to take a shower, and my shower broke. The plunger thing that you pull like in the faucet, or like, the faucet in the shower, when you pull it, it switches it from like the tub water to the shower. Well, I pulled it and it came off of my hand, and a bunch of parts fell out of the faucet. So I was like, well, I can't take a shower now. So I used my guest bathroom, and of course I hop in the shower and then realize there's no soap or towels in the guest bathroom right now. So I had to get out of the shower, grab soap, and it delayed me. So I caught the tail end of the stream. Vanessa says, do you ship live fish to Minnesota? Yes. So that's another thing I want to talk about. I will probably resume shipping fish this week. Basically, tomorrow after I get off work, I need to go through and do inventory counts on all my fish, so that way I have the most updated inventory to get on the website. So I just saw something about hopefully a mod, so let me see what that is. Okay, it's about Aquarium Cop. Yeah, Matt, it doesn't block your comment. It just doesn't allow outside links. So I can't unblock what you typed. But a mod will have to grab it and post it. But anyways, I hope to resume shipping fish this week. And from what I've seen from other channels, including like Flip Aquatics, LRB, LR Brett's, they all had shipping issues this past week or so with just shipping in general. So I'm glad I really held out. We're coming up on 3 months now since I've shipped live fish. It originally just started as I stopped for the holiday season, which I do every year, and then I usually wait until like mid-January, because right after the holiday season you get all the people like sending things back that they got for Christmas that they didn't want or it was broken. So I usually wait until mid-January, everything's caught up. But this year with the pandemic, it was a lot worse. There was a lot more packages going through the mail. And then after that, when I thought, all right, we're getting close, we got some bad weather. So I was like, all right, we'll wait this out. And then the real big storm hit, which took out like half the United States as far as shipping delays. And then I think we're finally past that. So I believe this week I'll resume shipping fish. And these fish have just been sitting here growing for the past 3 months or longer. And I will probably be listing some Vienna Guppy trios. I'm not guaranteeing many right now. It might only be 2 or 3 trios, mainly because I have a lot of males, but not very many females. And, I'm trying to keep that line getting bigger and bigger, so I don't want to unload a bunch of females. I still have to figure out pricing. I've had those guys for a year now, so I'm just going to give you a heads up. They're probably not going to be a cheap trio of fish. Don't think I'm going to sell a trio of them for like $10. It's not going to happen. This has been a year-long project of growing these guys. And there's a video of me getting these directly from Jimmy at Aquarium Co-op. Because I do get comments about that randomly if these are the real Vienna guppies, but they are. There's a video of me getting them directly from Jimmy, so check that out on the channel. It's from a year ago. But yeah, so I'm excited to start shipping again because I have a lot of rainbows that are ready to ship, and the hobbyist bred plecos. I got clown plecos, and there's just a lot going on. And right now, shrimp is kind of. I'm probably holding off on shipping shrimp right now just because I need to let the colonies kind of rebound. They basically have been keeping me going when I haven't been shipping online. So I've had local people keep buying shrimp from me, so the colonies aren't super strong right now. So I need to let them kind of rebound. And I'll probably show you this little nano shrimp tank here in a minute. I know we looked at it last week. And on that live stream, I showed about how I had like the algae on the glass, and you just gotta kind of let a shrimp tank settle. Well, it's looking really good right now. The water is crystal clear. All the algae's gone off the glass, and I haven't touched the tank. I'm just letting it do its thing. It's balancing out. There's still some algae like on the rocks and stuff, but the glass is clean. Those ram's horns, that population kind of exploded, and they cleaned up all the glass. Well, now that the glass is clean, that population will slow down a little bit. And if it gets too much, I'll start pulling these ram's horns out and I'll move them to other tanks because I don't want the ram's horns to outcompete the shrimp. So, I'll keep an eye on it. But right now, the ram's horns are so tiny that it's no big deal. And I've just been upping the fish food to compensate. But yes. Matt said tanks look good. Did you sell the plants? Yep, I sold the big plants this week. Florida Fish Rescue said, yeah, losing Aquarium Cup is a really a loss. Yeah, I mean, he didn't talk a whole lot in my streams, but he would, mention like, hey, I'm, how you doing? And, it's not somebody I know personally, but it's somebody from the fish fam community. So it's not like somebody had passed away. And I'm like, I'm not sure who that is. Like, as soon as I read it, I knew exactly who it was. So, it saddens me a bit to know that he is no longer with us. Multi-tank addiction. Hey, Steven. I finally got the plywood aquarium up and running, so happy with how it turned out. I did see, I believe you posted a video today. It came across my feed earlier, right before I got in the shower. I saw it was like the 500-gallon biotope. I haven't watched it yet, but I will. But I'm excited that you got that up and running. So I know a big tank like that, especially one that you built, is super exciting. So glad you got that done, and that's awesome. Aquarium Domain said, yep, they are here, Steven, enjoying their new home. Aquarium Domain is the gentleman that bought the plants. So that's where those plants are at now. And I got some more big ones coming in. Hopefully I can grow them out to that size, and then I'll jokingly say they're for sale and somebody might buy them. Tank Top Tropics says, what fish do you have in that tank? So this is mainly plecos. I know it's going to be hard to see, but there's a breeding group of, I think it's 11. 10 or 11, all right, 10 plus or minus 1 of L107 brilliant bristlenose plecos. And I successfully bred them once with one baby. I never caught them having eggs anywhere, but a baby showed up. And what's cool, guys, is I finally found the baby disappeared for like 3 weeks. Like I showed you guys, like here's the baby, and then I never saw him again. I was like, oh man, like maybe he died. No, he made his own little home, and you won't be able to see it that well. But this first stack of pleco caves right here, the 3, well, there's a little gap between the 3 of them right in the middle, and that's where he calls his home. So I've consistently seen him in there, and he is dark black with bright white spots. I wish I knew who his parents were because they need to make more. He's looking excellent. But there's the L107s, and then there's super red bristlenose, and then the actual fish is a breeding trio of Parkinsoni rainbow fish. These guys, there's a spawning mop over right here. They put their eggs in the spawning mop. I move the spawning mop out to my fish room, and then I rotate. There's a spawning mop out there. I bring it in, and I just play musical spawning mops, basically. That's all in this tank. It was really just supposed to be for the L107s, and then I got the Parkinsonis, and I wanted to breed them, so I put them in this tank just to give some movement. And then with the Amazon swords, it just became a nice backdrop tank for the live streams. So now I just got to replant this thing and make it look good once again. I see Ohio Fish Rescue's here. Hello. Matt Reed said he ships everywhere in the U.S. except for Alaska and Hawaii. That is correct. As far as live fish, I ship dry goods to all U.S. States and territories. So all 50 states, Puerto Rico, and Guam. And then local pickup. So if you're local to me, you can still order fish or hard goods on the website. At checkout, there is an option for local pickup. You just click it, and it won't charge you shipping. And basically, what it does is it emails me saying, "Hey, somebody wants to pick up this order," and then I just email you back like, "Hey, I'm free from this time to this time during the week. I'm free from this time on the weekend. What works best for you?" And um, you can swing by, pick them up, or I can meet you somewhere that's close. There's also a delivery option, which is kind of silly, but there is through the e-commerce website. You can set, let's say, a 20-mile radius of my house, and it charges like, I don't know if it's like $18 or something, or where I'll deliver you the products, and the $18 is basically me driving 20 miles somewhere, 20 miles back, so it's gas money and my time. So it's not really cheap, but it is an option if you want to buy some medications and you don't want to leave your house. I can bring them to you. I haven't had anybody do that at all, but I did have somebody order products online that they only lived like just over a half an hour away. They didn't order products. I think they ordered fish. They lived like a half an hour away, paid for shipping, and I was like, you know what? It's an hour drive, half there, half back, plus a little bit of time. I ended up just driving them their order. It was kind of fun. But I think that was right when the pandemic first happened. Melhit Prime said, at SC, I may know a guy that has a bunch of canister filters up and running. If you need any, let me know. I'm actually good. I monitor that tank, and it's doing fine. All I'm doing is cutting back on heavy feeding them. So really, the only thing that's going to suffer is breeding. But these guys breed pretty much every single day, and they're hogs. They eat like crazy. I just have to monitor. And really, the only thing that's different is the amount of water changes. I went from just doing water top-offs, which was once a week because of evaporation, to now I'm actually doing a water change. And everything, it'll catch back up. And then once I add new plants next week, we'll be back up and running full steam ahead on that tank. I do have some coffee tonight. I made this coffee right before I went live, and I was thinking, like, I gotta work tomorrow. I probably shouldn't drink coffee because it's going to keep me up late tonight. But coffee just sounded good, so I made some coffee. Salfer Lad said, at SE Aquatics, would love to hear your opinion on Joey, the king of DIY. I've met Joey in person at Aquashella Chicago, which would have been 2019. And that was my first fish tube event. I got to hang out with Jadron Aquatics, Papa Shrimp, Jerry, OFR, but that was pre-me. I think that was before I knew, like, I was friends with OFR. Like, I knew who they were, but I wasn't friends. I hadn't been introduced to them yet. So I didn't, like, hang out with OFR. But I had the same hotel as all the other YouTubers and stuff like that. And I don't really want to voice my opinion on other YouTubers, because I don't want to say, like, he's the best guy in the world. I don't want to say he's the worst guy in the world. I have my opinions on the king of DIY, and yeah. I'm going to just leave it at that. I'm trying to scroll through this, see if there's any questions. Remember, guys, if you have a question, tag me, and it will make it easier for me to find it. IHSP's here, hello. You've probably been here the whole time. I'm just now getting through. Dougie, how we doing at SC? Hey, Fish Gang. Doing well. It's Friday, cannot complain. I'm here. Try to get to the bottom. Tiffany White, hello. Matt Reed said, what kind of plants are you thinking of adding to the tank? Honestly, the Amazon swords have been doing so well that I want to keep adding Amazon swords. This is the tank I sell out of for Amazon swords. There's 3 left, looks like. So I got 3 left, which should be current on the website. That's where they come from. So I did put some stem plants in here. They're just not doing very good yet. I don't know what's going on with them. But the sword plants seem to do really well, and the pluckos don't kill them. So I think I'm just going to keep putting swords in here. But I may go ahead and put some red melons. Because the problem with the red melons is they come from the farms, the the plant farms. They're green and they're like this size. They're tall, and that's like the picture that's on the website. Because they're not converted yet. Well, then they go in my tanks and then they convert, which swords take a little while to convert. So then they basically melt all the way down, and then when they start coming back, they're red. I may try to get a bunch of those and get those going in here, get those converted, because I mentioned it last live stream. I just sold one, and the whole thing had converted over, which was awesome. It's a full red melon, but it was only like this big. So instead of them getting a plant this big that was green, that would die or melt back on them and turn red, I basically did the legwork, or I gave them a converted plant. But I felt bad because it was this big when the picture makes it look a lot bigger. But hopefully, I didn't get any emails about it, so I think that they are A-okay on it. Let me... How many gallons is the tank behind you? I forgot. It's a 55. It's a 55 acrylic. And this was the freebie tank. One of my local viewers or subscribers bought some products from me, and we were chatting back and forth over time. And then he mentioned he had an acrylic tank that he was like in the middle of restoring, but it's not going well. And he kind of gave up on it, bought a new tank, and asked if I wanted this one. And it was completely opaque. You couldn't see into the tank at all. And I said, you know what, I'll give it a shot. I'm a mechanic. Like, I know how to do some buffing and polishing. Let me give it a shot. And it worked out. And it came out really, really well. And so it was a free 55 tank. And I put it here because it's, being it's acrylic, it's, it's rimless. There's no frame. It's frameless. So I thought it would look good for a background. And it was like a rush. I needed to put it in here and get the pluckos in it. Okay, let me see. Where am I at? Ken B said Madagascar lace. I do have some Madagascar lace out in the fish room. I could put it in here just for the time being, so maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll do that. Do that this weekend, so that way next week's live stream there'll be some lace plants. But yeah, they're actually doing really well out in the fish room, so I'll move them over. That's a good idea. It seems so big. It seems to be perfect size. Yeah, so the 55, I mean, it's still 4 feet long, so it's going to be the same length as a 75. It's just definitely not as deep. So I think are they 14 inches deep, I think? But yeah, it's a good sized tank. I would love a tank the size of this whole back wall. Like if this wasn't here and it was just a massive tank back there, it looked pretty sweet. At one point, I was thinking about taking that wall, like that, all the products down, and then doing like 4 55s up on the wall. So it'd be 4 separate tanks to look at. But I decided with the amount of times I flooded my fish room, I don't want 4 tanks, 4 55s in this room, because knock on wood, I haven't had any water accidents in this room. I'm trying to keep it that way. Salford Lad said, I get what you're saying. Dougie, you're right on. Florida Fish Rescue said, I learned a lot from Joey. Yeah, he was a more humble guy back in the day, and let his YouTube stats make him a little egotistical, but that doesn't take away from what he's taught me. I'm not saying anything bad about that. I learned a ton from him. Some of his videos inspired me to do stuff. He definitely is super educational in that regards. I would just say over the past couple years, it just hasn't been a channel I've enjoyed at all. So I really enjoyed back when it was the DIY stuff. You know, majority of it. I don't even know what he's doing these days. I'm not subscribed to his channel, so I have no idea what he's been up to. I think the last thing I saw of his was he had taken those like custom aquariums down, and he was going to do like individual stands. That's the last thing I saw. And I get what's going on with like the DIY stuff, because there's only so much DIY stuff you can do, and he's got a lot of content on DIY projects. So you can only do that stuff so many times because you've already done it. So then it kind of went into the whole like fish keeping and setting up tanks, and then you know, just kind of I lost interest in that channel, I guess. Kel Bell said, "It's a beautiful tank. What kind of lights are on it?" That is one Phoenix Stingray. I don't have any like laying around. It's a Phoenix Stingray. That is the 48-inch light. It's kind of cloudy. I don't know how it's showing up. It kind of looks. It might look a little foggy right here. Removing the sword plants, their root system was huge on that plant. Their roots were coming all the way up almost to the front of the glass. When I pulled those plants out, it moved the pleco caves, so they weren't happy. But it sent a lot of dust into the water column, because this is that fine blasting sand that I don't recommend ever buying. And that stuff's just, if you touch it, it just lofts all sorts of fine particles in the water. So you should have seen it the day I did it. It was miserable, but it's still just a lot of suspended particles. I probably should clean out the canister filter to get the flow rates back up, because I can tell it's a little bit slower, so that means there's probably sand in it. But I don't really want to mess with the canister filter and remove any kind of surface area for bacteria until I get more plants in here, just to keep everybody happy, because there's a lot of money in this tank in these plecos. I mean, the rainbow fish are expensive in their own right, but the L107 breeding group is a ton of money. So this tank is probably close, as far as money invested, this is probably my most expensive fish tank right here, because of that breeding group. Software Lad said, "Ever kept crypt Retrospiralis?" I have not. The only crypts I've kept are the Wendeti, reds, greens, and bronze. And you might take that back. I have Crypt Spiralis, but I have not kept that variety. Mrs. Millhead Prime said, "Of the plants you have for sale, what is the best for axolotl? Making an order now." Mrs. Mellhead, wait on that order. As much as I appreciate your money right this second, I will have even more plants come Wednesday. I have a plant order coming in. But for axolotls, I recommend Anubias. That's what I keep with mine. I also have Crypts with mine. They seem to do fine with the axolotls. And mine's a breeding pair, so they're full size. And they get a little frisky here and there, and those plants survive just fine. The Anubias is very hardy, and the Crypts are just the Wendetis. I believe in that tank, they might be the reds, but I'm pretty sure they're just bronze, but they do just fine. I think the main thing with them is you just gotta have something that, because they trample everything. So they'll float at the surface, and then they kind of sink down onto a plant, and they'll just sit there. So any kind of like stem plants, they're going to wreak havoc on. I'm not saying they'll kill the plants, but they're just going to like bend them over all the time. Amazon swords would work too, but those plants are going to get big, so I don't know how big your tank's going to be. But you know, those two plants I sold were getting up to as tall as this tank. But as far as little stuff, Anubias I think is a good way to go, and they don't require high light, and that crypt was growing just fine under low light as well. but the plants should be here Wednesday. I have, I should pull up the list because I have, I think, six different quarries coming. I'm gonna pull up the list while I'm thinking about it. Where is it? 5 different quarries. So I have pygmy quarries, which was a I would say special order, but I was ordering anyways, but it was a special request. My rainbow breeder wants like a dozen of them, so I got a bunch of those coming. I have red sailfin Venezuelans, the reticulatus, some pandas, because pandas always sell well. But the big one, and these will be the most expensive quarries I've ever bought. I bought green lasers. They are expensive. They're expensive for me to buy. They're going to be expensive for you guys to buy. So I was trying to do some research on them as far as what are the going rates, because they're expensive. And I'm just looking up. So why didn't that... I could have swore they had them. Okay, maybe they don't have them. So, like, try to compare pricing. You know, I check out, you know, the top 10 online sellers, and then I go on to lesser known websites or smaller companies like myself. And right now, like, I see Aquatic Arts has, they don't have the gold or green ones listed, which I thought they had green ones, but they have the gold stripes, which are listed for $65 for 3 of them. So I would, you know, it's the same fish, but that one's gold instead of the green laser. I know I saw someone else. Who was the other one? So Aqua Imports sells the green ones for $35 each. Now, I ordered these. These will be a bundle. It will be like, you know, buy 3 of them, buy 6 of them, 9 of them type deal. Because with really any fish, you don't want to just buy just one, unless it's like a centerpiece fish that you only should have one. But, you know, Corys, Tetras, they don't want to be by themselves. So I will probably be listing them as a group of 3. Who was the other one? Here's I think this might have been the cheapest one. Bay Bridge has them for $30 a piece. But they don't, well, they're sold out. But that was basically the going rate. It was like $30 to $40 a piece for singles, and then groups were like $60 to $90. There was a big range, so I usually price pretty well and pretty competitive against everybody else. So if, you know, the cheapest group I'm seeing is $65 for 3, I will be under that price for sure. Let me get back in the chat. Matt Reed, can we see the update on the shrimp tank? Yeah, I definitely want to show you guys that. Software Lad said the Retrospiralis is a superb alternative to the large bough species. Very attractive hardy plant. You should consider stocking it. I see it on my plants list. I'll bring some in on my next order, which yesterday is the cutoff. So the way this wholesaler works is, this is a wholesaler I buy fish through, but they also bring in plants. Well, they do like they stock plants, but they do special order plants when they order their weekly order, which goes in on Thursdays. I can place like it's basically like a transship plant order. I have to buy basically in groups of 6 instead of just singles. Like if I wanted one crypt, I could order one crypt through them with my fish. But if I want to order the transship, it has to be 6, at least 6 of each kind I'm ordering. and they just basically bundle it together, and it's most cost effective for me to order in bigger groups than like singles. But if this was yesterday, I could have added it to my list, but they put it in yesterday. Good night, Mr. Fish, sir. Let's show you. All right, how do I turn this light back on? So here's the problem with streaming with my cell phone: is my Fluval lights are controlled through the Bluetooth, and on the main lights, there's a button. I don't think the Nano has the button. The Nano doesn't have the button. So the light's off on the tank. So it's not going to show very well. It's got its moonlight right now. How do I do this for you guys? Ideas. Because I can't back out of this stream, but let me grab this and I'll flip you around and you can see what I see. But it's probably not going... Well, actually, it doesn't look half bad. It looks way darker in person than it does on the camera, which is cool. So the water is crystal clear now, and it's been, what, 3 weeks? The glass, which this is the side that had all the algae, it's crystal clear. I don't know if I'll be able to see the shrimp on here. Oh, there's one right there. But yeah, so it's going. Plants are growing. But yeah. I still kind of want to make the rock pile a little bit bigger for that back corner, just kind of hide the filter intake. You know, kind of build this up and have it, you know, be more scape-like. I might even just put a piece of wood in there. But yeah, flip you guys back around. So it's going well. I'll do a video during the day on it, so that way you guys can see it with its actual light. And I wanted to do an update video on it anyways. Wow, my beard's looking crazy since I took a shower. Squirrel. So yeah, I'll do an update video, and I have 2 videos that I need to edit. They're filmed. One's very educational, and I'll just tell you about it. It's about dehumidifier water. I tested the dehumidifier, and I don't have the stuff in here. It's out in the fish room, because I've never used dehumidifier water in my fish tanks, but it was an idea I had of plumbing my dehumidifier back into my systems to recuperate all that water that's evaporating. And Brandon said he saw 2 of the shrimp. Yeah, I mean, there's 6 to 10 in there, maybe 10. They're all pretty small still, so they hide really well. But I just saw another one. Michael said, I can't wait to see pics and prices of the green laser cores. Yeah, so, oh, that's another thing. So let me get on the website, and that way I can definitely tell you guys. I started using a photo box for fish. In some fish, I've been going through and updating the fish stuff, like live fish, not like fish foods, but actual fish. And as I get new fish in, I'm going to put them in the photo box. So some of the fish, I took pictures of them in the tanks, like the diamond. I'm on the website right now under all fish, the diamond tetras, the CPDs. The pictures aren't that great because I'm trying to take a picture through an aquarium glass that I never clean. Because I let the snails clean it for me, and it's to hold fish, not to, you know, be a photo studio. But I did put, where are they? The melanite cories. The babies I accidentally bred, or not accidentally, but they bred and I didn't know it. Why can I not find them? There they are. So the melanite cories, oh, I didn't put the pictures on. I took pictures of them. Okay, I'm a liar. So I took pictures of them, but they're not on there. Maybe I didn't put the pictures. You know what? I sent it to my rainbow breeder. That's what I did. Anyways, I made a photo box. So it gives it really high light so I can get good pictures. Well, I was using just a tank. Don't mind how dirty this is. This is my calcium tank, where I put calcium and mix it to dose tanks. Anyways, I have one of these, but bigger, the step up. Just put fish tank water in, put the fish in here, put this in the photo box, I can take pictures. Well, it was just bare bottom, but the pictures came out pretty good because it's a lot of light. I got black substrate sand, not the fine blasting sand. I bought actual Aquarium black sand. I'm going to put in it to help with the contrast. Because I already have one of the new corridors is the corridors Come Color. That's already here. I got those 2 weeks ago. They're already here in the tanks, and that's one of the fish I took pictures of. So I need to get the black sand into the tank, and it's just like going to be a photo tank. It's just going to have, we'll put tank water in it, put the fish in it, take their pictures, take the fish out, dump the water. It's not going to be cycled. It's literally just to hold the fish, take the pictures, then move on. And it's small, so that way I can clean it if I need to clean it and things like that. But I'm hoping to have better pictures of the fish. I'm a terrible photographer when it comes to fish. I can take really good pictures of stuff, but when it's moving really quick, I'm terrible. So that's why I wanted to get something smaller, keep them more confined and less darting around. So that's what I'm working on. Evan Carwell said, "Are you able to order Exodon Tetras?" Yes, they are on my fish list. Sherry Fish is here. I'm sure you've been here for a long time, but I just saw your name. Good to see you. I'm trying to make sure I don't miss any questions. IHSP says, "I'm ready to make my light purchase when you're ready." IHP, I will email you this weekend. And take no offense to this. If I don't email you this weekend, email me because I'll forget. I squirrel. I'll forget, but I will try to email you this weekend. If you don't hear from me by Sunday night, shoot me an email to remind me. Don't feel bad like, hey, I'm bugging you. It's because I forgot. I'm terrible at remembering things. That's how I flood my fish room so many times. It's because I forget. I turn the water on and I walk away. But yes, I did work out pricing for group sales. So I will get with you. And actually, I'll talk to you first, since you're the one that kind of got this group purchase going, and see what you think about it. And everything looks good, I will send out emails so everybody, if you're looking for Phoenix Stingray lights, which are these guys that's on this tank, I figure out which way to move. I'm doing a group buy. There's no minimum for anybody. It's just kind of I'm trying to get to see how many people want Stingrays, and it's substantially off MSRP. I'm priced below MSRP as is, and this is going to be priced even lower than that. It's not going to get crazy lower, but a decent amount lower. The only thing is, I will probably have to charge like a flat rate of $15 or something like that for all these lights, because if you buy 30 lights, no one's going to buy 30 lights, but let's just hypothetically, if you buy 30 lights, it's going to cost me a crap ton of money to ship 30 lights. So I'm doing probably like $15. You order one light, you order 10 lights, it'll be $15 to ship it. I'll still lose some money on that, but $15 is a big chunk of the shipping, at least, will help me out. But I will do an email, so if you're not subscribed to the email list, just go to 614fish.com. You wait a few seconds, it should pop up a box like, hey, do you want to subscribe to our email? Put in your email, you'll be subscribed, and you'll be, that's how you guys find out when my fish will start shipping too. I'll probably do a comment on my YouTube page like fish are shipping again, and then I also send it out to email subscribers, and I'll say fish are shipping, buy what you want. I can tell you right now, the super red plecos will probably go quick because there's like 4 or 5 people that want to buy some. So I gotta get my list out. I was trying to keep track of everybody that wanted fish when I start shipping again, so I gotta try find everybody's little comments and stuff and let them know like, hey, I'm about to start shipping. But yeah, so I guess this week's gonna be fun. Well, hopefully everything goes well. I need to start getting the styrofoam out, start making more box liners, and just being prepared. Let me see where I'm at. Okay, so let's talk about products. So this week I got a ton of products in. I got boxes and boxes and boxes from the wholesaler. I'm gonna just look around my room, so don't think I'm like being weird, like looking off into space. I'm just looking at all the products I have that came back into stock. So the biggest one is the 614 fertilizer. It's back. Sponge filters, I sold the 3 sizes, like the small, medium, and large. The large I recommend for, like, I guess I have them in my 55 out in the fish room. So like 55 and up, 55, 75, 125s. But those 3 sizes are in. The aquarium test strips, the 25 pack and the 100 packs are back. Aquarium Master API test water kits. Oh, new product. And there's more than just that. Hang on. A couple people were asking me for these. These are the Aquatop pH 8s. pH 8? Did I say that right? Oh my gosh. Yes, pH 8. This is a very popular powerhead. These are on the website. I only brought in like 6 of them, so I don't know how many's left. Kel Bell said it would be cool if everyone in this chat could send pictures of their tanks into SE Aquatics, have them show us all of them. Yeah, I could do a stream on that. I do have a way I can post, I can like show you guys pictures. That's a good idea. So maybe if anybody wants to do that, let's set something up for that. Email sales@614fish.com. Email me your username, or if you want me to say your name or username or just nothing at all, I could just say this is a subscriber's tank. Send me some pictures of your tanks, and maybe like if you got it planted, where are the plants, where are the fish in there, what's the size of the tank, and then I could show it. Like, this is Kel Bell's 75-gallon cichlid tank. And I could leave it at that, or I could be like, it's got these shell dwellers with these floating plants, and the shell dwellers don't eat them, or I could do something like that. That'd be kind of cool. This is Chevy Fish's 2-gallon tank with a pacu in it. Just kidding. But yeah, that'd be kind of cool. Evan said, you said the Exodon Tetras are on your website? No, they're not on my website. I can order them for you, though. I don't stock Exodon Tetras, but if it's something you want, I can just put it on my fish order, and I can bring them in. So let me know if you want them. I can look up the pricing, because I don't know how much they are, but I can look them up, and I can order them in. Fishy Biz Aquatics is here. He says, what's cracking? Good to see you, Fishy Biz. Hope all is doing well. And I will be at this, I mentioned earlier, I don't know how far Cincinnati is from you, but not this weekend, but next weekend, which I think is the 13th. Is it the 13th? Apparently my calendar doesn't want to work on my computer, but I think it's the 13th. Cincinnati's having their fish swap thing going on. I will be there. I think there's a couple other fish fan people going. There goes my calendar. Yes, the 13th. It might be too far of a drive for you, but we'll be there. But yeah, so Aquatop. Let me get back to this. So if you don't know, a powerhead, it's just a water pump that goes in the water. It sucks water up from here. Can you guys see that? Water sucks up, shoots it out. What's cool about it is that you can add an air line. I believe it comes with the air line already. I'm gonna open it. Yes, so it comes with the air line, and what that allows you to do is put this pump in your tank, run an air line up, and it adds air into the stream, helps oxygenate your water. But what's cool about this, so you would use that to increase flow in a tank. So if you got pluckos that like high flow water, you can put one of these in there. The other thing you can do is attach this directly to a sponge filter and use a power head to pull the water through the sponge filter instead of air line and air stones. And the reason you do that is it creates flow through your tank, but it's also filtering a lot of water. So, and this is like the smallest version. pH 8 goes up to a pH 35, which is like 3 times the power, or 3 times the flow. But that's a popular one. I think mainly because people put these on sponge filters. But that's a new product. Bug Pro, I don't have it sitting here. It's like Bug Bites, but it's the Norfin version. I got jars of that in, and I might be sold out of 1 or 2 of the sizes already. No, I only brought on 2 sizes, so I'm sold out of 1 of the sizes, I think. But but I've been having troubles getting the Fluval bug bites. I believe I have the Pleco version in stock somewhere over there. Maybe one of the goldfish are left, but I can't get the community stuff. So the Northfin is the same concept with the Bug Pro. So I brought that in. Wonder Shells, I only have the super size. They've been sold out of the other sizes, but I brought the supers in. So if you're looking for Wonder Shells, Python hooks, pythons, medications, I try to get in more of the Paraclins. They're sold out. Can't get any. Some little odds and ends I restocked. Things that were out that were just real small stuff like airline holders, control valves for airlines, stuff like that. But a lot of products, it took me a while to go through the inventory system and get everything back on there, but everything's there. Von Yunzer says, do you have the Northfin Fry Starter in stock? I should. It should be up there. Yeah, it's these, these 2 bags. No, not those 2 bags. Where's it on the camera? It's like it's over here. Top right, the Fry Starter, the black bags, wherever, over here. It's cut off on my camera, but it's showing up on my screen. There's 2 bags that are black. That's the Fry Starter. So it looks like there's 1 bag of each size left. Von User said, "Damn, White Clouds will not quit." That's not a bad problem to have. Grow those suckers out, and I'll buy them from you, Von User. Let me try to go back up. See what else is happening. Fish and Floral said, Chevy abusing Paku again. Evan Cardwell, I answered that question. The Exodons are not on the website. They're a special order. Just send me a message on Facebook and I can shoot you a price. Bucky said, I need cherry shrimp. I'm in no hurry, still perfecting my setup. I wish I could say I'll have cherry shrimp here soon, but it's like I'll have some available, but like as soon as I saw them, like the colony it hasn't recuperated. So I'm guessing it's probably going to be a couple. Well, I don't even want to say a couple. A few weeks. It's going to be a few weeks before the cherries are ready. IHSP said I'm looking at like 8-ish, maybe as many as a dozen. Hey, 8, 2, 30, 50. That's the group buy. That's what's going to be nice is that if you buy 8 and somebody only wants 1, but somebody else wants 2, it all adds up, and that's what helps keep the price lower. Because what that does, it allows me to basically space out the shipping costs. So like every time you order a case of lights, if it costs $40 to order a case of lights and shipping, because the manufacturers don't offer free shipping. Wholesalers will offer free shipping if you hit like $500 or more. When you're buying more direct, it's usually a minimum order quantity. Let's say I have to order a minimum of $1,000. That's where the group buy really helps, because at least I know those people are committed to buying, so that helps wash out some of that upfront cost. IHSB said at SC, well, of you forget, but didn't remember like Wednesday. I haven't emailed. I did the same thing in Squirrel also, just saying. Yeah, so I did start a calendar, a Google Calendar on my computer that's linked to my phone to help keep track of things. The problem is, I forget to use the dang calendar. So it's set to my phone, which I can't show you because I'm using it. But I got the Fitbit on here that I can like see messages on here. It turns off when I go to show you, but so like text messages and stuff, I can like quickly see, is this an important message or is this something I can wait till later to respond? But it also sends me notifications, because a lot of times I don't even hear my phone ring like alarms. because it might be in my pocket and I'm not paying attention to it. And yes, it's on vibrate, but I still don't notice it when I'm working. Or it might be on my toolbox or whatever. So I got this Fitbit. My sister gave me this like 3 years ago, and I used it a lot. And then I stopped using it for a while, and then I got it back out. But it's, mainly just so I can see notifications and stuff real quick, and also keep track of my heart rate and stuff like that. But Metalhead Prime said I want in on the light thing too. Yeah, I will send an email out to this email subscribers. Maybe I'll do that this weekend. Let me put that in my calendar so I remember, because luckily with the calendar I can set up like reminders. But I will send out an email this weekend with the pricing. Don't forget about Zebra Daniels. Let me see what that's about. Dougie said Von Yinzer, said after the apocalypse, only cockroaches and white clouds will survive. True, but don't forget about Zebra Daniels. Zebra Daniels are awesome. They are hardy. I got them out in the fish room. And Giant Daniels. A Giant Daniel it's in my top 10 right now, for sure. They're so much fun to watch. Matt Reed said, any tips to take off the black rim off an aquarium? There's a lot of silicone. So, I've never done it, but I've watched videos, which I'm sure you have too. But I know if I were to do it, what I would do is get a razor scraper. I don't have one to show you, but, a handle with a razor blade. And you need to get underneath and cut that silicone out from that rim. And then I honestly would probably get some sort of cutter and try to cut the rim out in pieces. Obviously, you gotta be careful with, you don't want too big of a cutter, and when you go to cut it, it tweaks and cracks your glass. But you got some small cutters. The perfect cutter I have actually came with my 3D printer to cut the filament. It's very sharp and it's really tiny. I was saying something like that. But from what I see, people just razor blade underneath to cut the silicone seam against that rim, and then they start peeling the plastic. Eventually, the plastic kind of breaks off in chunks anyways. I think I would just go through and pre-cut. I don't know if you could do it with a serrated knife. If you had a Dremel with a little cutoff wheel and you could cut it, you can cut pre-cut sections out. It would come off super quick, I bet. Matt F said it's a big pain in the ass, patience, and blades. IHSP said a guy named Fat Man Aquatics on here has a great video of taking the rims off. There we go. Yep. So definitely watch some videos of somebody that's actually done it. That's what I would do. I would try to take it off in sections. But I would check out that Fat Man Aquatics that IHSP recommended. Let me see.